Look, before we move on from Premier League stuff, we are going to talk about St. Pat's and their new official permanent manager in just 1 second. But Klopp was talking in the press conference earlier on this week, and he was asked about Caoimhin Kelleher's future, and he essentially has said he's not for sale.
They've chained him to that bench.
He is not for sale.
Caoimhin Kelleher's golden handcuffs.
I mean, what's going on here, Gav? Like, is it a good thing for him to stay at Manchester or at Liverpool?
No, I don't. Probably not at this point. Like, he's not.
He's 24.
Playing. He's never going to play ahead of Alisson, because Alisson is probably the best goalkeeper in the world, unfortunately for Caoimhin Kelleher. So I think it's in his best interest to leave now and get first team football. I think he'd be good enough, and there'll be openings actually to play at a good level in the Premier League. I saw the Athletic report today that Tottenham have a bit of an interest. Hugo Lloris is going to leave. Brentford will probably have an interest because David Raya might leave. Brighton is a really interesting one. Brighton actually need a keeper, really. Like, obviously Sanchez was there, and then he's been dropped for, is it Jason Steele?
Jason Steele, yeah, star of Sunderland until I die.
Yeah, and so obviously, like, you can imagine, like, Kelleher would be perfect for there, and Liverpool are going to do some business at Brighton this year in terms of signing McAllister. So maybe when I saw that story, I think, well, that makes perfect sense. They'll let Kelleher go the opposite way and get a chunk off the transfer fee for McAllister. But now it seems like they won't let him go unless it's for a very, very lucrative offer. And for Liverpool, that makes sense. Like, Liverpool would be mad to get rid of him, because it's so hard to get a good substitute goalkeeper at that level, because when you've got the likes of Alisson, or at an equivalent level like Ederson, or any of the other top first choice keepers in the league, they're going to play every week once they're fit, and the substitute goalkeeper will be scrambling around for minutes at any level. And Liverpool know that, well, look, if Alisson gets injured, we can trust this guy. Like, this guy's really good, so he's obviously under contract there. It's in Liverpool's interest to keep him. I think it's in Kelleher's interest to leave now. So he has to hope that, like, an absolute whopper offer comes in and Liverpool listen to it. So I'm not convinced that they will, based off maybe Klopp's comments are just kind of, some kind of negotiating tactic. But no, I think he probably.
They say he was the best backup goalkeeper in the world, didn't you? He said that a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I don't know if that's ultimately kind of accolade you want to retire with.
No. Why don't Liverpool do what Manchester United do and just have their second choice goalkeeper, whoever was the third choice England goalkeeper 10 years ago, and just keep buying them as the years goes on? Like, they don't need to keep Caoimhin Kelleher locked up on the bench. But this is probably where you need a strong voice behind you that's pushing for that move, like, get you out the door as soon as possible. Like, you just can't live your life being a second choice goalkeeper if you're.
Well, look, maybe you can. Like,
if you've got, well, you can, but if you've got hopes to be a full-time pro who's getting, recognition in his own country, for example, pushing Gavin who knows what's going to happen with him next year. Like, there is no justification for Caoimhin Kelleher to play for Ireland at the minute, because he's not playing for his club. So I don't know where he progresses his career beyond being Liverpool's second choice goalkeeper who might get a game or two in the FA Cup.
Like, he signed a new contract in the summer of 2021, and that was like a long term one. So I think by all accounts that's a good to 5 years. So a couple of years ago we was happy enough to say commit his future to Liverpool for 5 years. He's not thinking then, Alisson's coming to the end here, like, I'm going to have a sniff soon. He was like very comfortable to actually do that. I know you're saying here we're having a voice to push it, but then sometimes, like, it's what the player wants as well. You know what I mean? Like, and we can say, well, this is what we want. This is what we want for Caoimhin Kelleher. This is what we think you should be doing. On basically based on what he's seen him play a couple of times for Ireland, the fact that he's good enough to be Liverpool's backup goalkeeper now. So you're thinking, right, it's almost like, well, what else is there? What can you see of him week in, week out? So you want to see him progress, whatever. But then he's also been at Liverpool since he was a teenager. Like, I know maybe people might not, you probably think, oh, where's the ambition or whatever, but, like, part of him would be like, I'm quite happy to just be at Liverpool for the rest of my career because this is the club that I have a real affinity to. Now, listen, that could be totally wrong, but, like, it's happened with other, not so much goalkeepers, maybe goalkeepers, it happens with players, more so players who would tend to still get minutes and all the rest of it. It's the fact that he's going to play at the moment, as long as Alisson, because did Alisson sign a new contract recently enough, or is he still
within the last couple of years anyway? Yeah,
so, like,
he's definitely renewed since he's been there.
Like, what we kind of are, like, from the outside thinking what we want for him and what he wants and what he is driving him could be totally different, and this is speaking it from a total ignorant point of view, like, and again, we've no idea how much money he's earning.
Yeah.
It's another thing. And like, if you're at Liverpool, chances are you're gonna be getting a good amount of money. Like, you can be sure this comes into it as well. Like, yeah, you could go to a club, but if you're earning half the money at that age, and I noticed that's a kind of maybe a what I'm called that's maybe a cold way of looking at it. And this could be of absolutely no, I don't know, interest to him, or this could be of no driving force for him. But we don't know those circumstances either. And in terms of what he wants himself for, he's probably thinking, well, because he's what, 23,
24.
He's 24. Like, he's probably thinking, and again, this could be totally wrong, but like,
I would
he could be thinking, I'll stay here for another year, play a bit, earn some serious money, and then I'll be like, you know what, now I'll push for a move. That could be. Some players are wired like that. I don't know if that's the case. Again, I'm speaking from a total ignorant point of view on that, but that could be a point of this. You don't know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, he's signed a 5-year contract for a reason at Liverpool.
Yeah. People talk about him like he's got this moral obligation to leave and play every week. He doesn't, like, exactly like you just said. Like, he should do what he's happiest with and what's best for him. If he wants to be Ireland's number one, I think he has to play every week. I don't think that's controversial, just because Gavin Bazuni's playing every week, and he's in possession of the jersey at the moment. And anytime Kelleher has played for Ireland, and he has been given plenty of chances, in fairness, in the last, since maybe the end of 2021, partly when Bazuni missed games with injury and so forth. He never did enough to immediately dislodge Bazunu in any of those games, if you're being brutally honest. So yeah, I would pretty much just repeat what David said there. Sorry.
No, yeah, I do get that. Obviously, it's his choice and all that there, but I would be surprised if somebody who has made it to this point in his professional career isn't pissed off with not playing. You know, like, footballers at the end of the day are, especially professional footballers who get to a high level, are absolutely competitive bastards. You know, they'd kill you to get into the team before you. So I'd be very surprised if he is sitting there sort of like, you know, I'll play. He's played 5 times this year, twice for Ireland. So 3 times he's played for Liverpool. I'd be very surprised if a professional footballer is happy with that amount of minutes.
Maybe, but then, like, again, like David said, like, he signed a contract knowing that Alisson wasn't, presumably knowing that Alisson wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And look, maybe that he signed it for a nice bump in pay for a couple of years. It's just, like, it's an interesting broader point. Like, it always came up with a few years ago with Seamus Coleman. I remember the piece in the Sunday Times accusing Coleman of showing a lack of ambition by not leaving Everton. Like, I mean, is this a moral? Like, we kind of almost demanded of our best players that you have to play every week at the highest possible level that's realistic for you. And that's kind of what everyone demands of them. And sometimes their own personal circumstances will say, well, maybe not. Like Coleman, for instance, didn't leave Everton partly because he genuinely felt loyalty to them. That, you know, he broke his leg playing for Ireland, and they stood by their word and offered him a contract renewal. Like, that's just his specific circumstances. Like, but I just think that broader demand on all of us to say, you have to do this, is doesn't always take into account the player's best interests.
Yeah.
But that point as well, the whole of the one club aspect to it as well. Like, that could be something that could be equally driving Kelleher.
But it's really not the same though. Being the captain of Everton for the amount of time that Seamus Coleman has been the captain, and don't forget that Everton may be in the doldrums now. Everton were fighting for Champions League spots not so long ago. They were consistently.
That's a while ago now.
Consistently up there between the 7th and 6th and 5th best team in the Premier League while Seamus Coleman was playing. That is he was a name on the sheet every single week. That's a completely different thing to a 24-year-old sitting on the bench getting 3 games a year. Like, it's just not. It is not the same thing. Comparing, and I know, and look,
it is from the outside, but there are always broader point.
He could enjoy living in Liverpool. He could enjoy being at Liverpool club. He could enjoy being part of a winning club like Liverpool, where, you know, not so long ago, 2-3 years ago, and be part of that winning team and enjoy the people that he works with, enjoy the people he lives with, and that's all fine. But I just don't think it's the same as saying, you know, he wants to be a one club man, because you're not really a one club man if you're sitting on the bench playing 3 games. You might, like, on paper you're a one club man, but you're not really, like, you're not a Totti. You're not, you know, you're not a club legend by sitting on the bench for 10 years or 12 years of your career before retiring. You know, it's me putting my stuff onto Caoimhin Kelleher, and I understand that, but I just think from an Irish perspective, a player of that talent coming from the shores of Ireland, it would be very disappointing from that aspect to see him sitting on the bench for, you know, another 5-6 years at Liverpool if he's not going to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
I think it would be fair for Liverpool to let him go. That's sort of where I'm coming at. But